Shalom.
Shalom.
Once again, we want to give our praises and glory to other than
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Rukak, Kodash.
double honors, the apostles, and elders, the events, great soul, peaceful salutation to them that scattered to the four corners of the earth, God's portion for his sincerity and in truth. Shalom. This is the GMS Guyana camp. Out here, we can make out, prophesy the downfall of America, aka Babylon. And so we talk about people, blacks, Latinos, and natives, who are the true Israelites, the people of this book. Just another week, we are here to bring out prophecy again, because it's all about prophecy, right? This is the time that we're in right now, and this one, this we want to continue seeing fulfilling prophecy, so that we could come out to this place, so that we could inherit back, the inheritance of the gospel to how about Yahushai. So we can rule this heart again in righteousness, and nine the wickedness that's going on right now that is being pushed through what through the media, through false teaching, through false preaching also. So this place in a mess. And we will continue to do this until the Most High make Jerusalem a praise on the earth again. Right? So we could start it up.
Jeremiah 28 and verse 7 says, nevertheless, hear thou now this word.
Right? And who was Jeremiah? Jeremiah was a prophet. And he was sent to prophesy unto the nations, not his words, but words of the Yahweh Hashem. Right? Go ahead.
Says, nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thy ears and in the ears of all the people. It says, the prophet that have been before me and before thee of all, prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdom of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And so this one, Jeremiah telling me, you have been before me and of old, this is the prophesy about. Likewise, this is prophesying about today. The fall of America, aka Babylon, in the scriptures. Right? Yeah. There's just 15, sir.
Second Ezra 15 and verse 1, it says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
And this I got to speak words of prophecy. It's not no gimmicks, right? Speak word of prophecy. Whether
And it says, which I will put in thy mouth, said Yahweh.
just God the Most High put it in Jeremiah mouth and the rest of the prophets' mouth. Likewise, the men in the Lord today, specifically, the elders and apostles of GMS and the men that coming on down. Go ahead.
It says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
Faithful and true. Because what the words of how much outside. I'll keep again Isaiah 55 and verse 11.
Okay. Hello, Isaiah 55 and 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 11. It says, so shall my word, or read from 10? Yeah, from 10 it says, for as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and return not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower, and bread to the eater.
So with all the technologies that the earth are right now, there's nobody could do that. There's nobody could make the snow go back up, or the rain go back up when it starts pouring down from heaven. Because how much you can shine controls up, controls the element, right?
Yep. And the main thing is that when the rain fall or a seed is planted, is only time before it bring forth fruit, or you see the effects of it. Like if you put water on a soil, after a time, what has happened? The soil will start eroding, just washing away. You see, it says, verse 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
No, this all the prophecies that written in this book. Okay, just according to Moses says, it's going to be this, how it's going to be. America is going to be destroyed. Land is going to be desolate. New York is going to rock to and fro with them missiles when it's shot. This is how it's going to be. The elite of the nation of Islam, along with all the other nations. So Israel going to be on top. They're going to rule the sword to righteousness. Not really how it is, though. It is going to be much
Of struggle, this no to towards a great depth. See? Well,
against me. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
yeah. No, I was just going to say right to say they fear not the incredulity of them that trouble thee. All right, and incredulity mean unbelief. A lot of jakes, 2/3 ain't gonna believe this word that we pushing. They ain't gonna believe the words of the Bible. They ain't gonna believe the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know, and that's why they're gonna die on this side. You know, it's what they think that they coming against us, you're not coming against us. All right, you're coming against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You see? Now you got it. You say, then they shall know a prophet had been among them. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Read about that.
Second verse 3, it says, fear not, but
Put the problems to them. You know, they imagine it, all kind of wickedness. And once I said, fear not the things that these people imagine, because the how about Shai got everything in control. He control both sides. Go ahead.
let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
That's
Yeah, can I got two precepts, right? Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse I read from verse 5. It says, "For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. Men of a speech and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely I send thee them. Surely and I send thee to them, they who have hearkened unto thee." Right? So we're not sent unto other nations that, you know, don't understand this word. All right? We're sent unto who? Israel. All right, that this word belongs to. You know, but if the Mosiah had sent us onto the other nations, guess what? They would have received this word. You know?
And because those and
Yep.
and rebellion. Anything concerning our Shai and righteousness, they don't want to hear. Figure it out.
Verse 7, it says, but to the house of Israel, but the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they say they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impudent. Right? And this is the point. It says, verse 8, behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads. You know, this is the most I want, strengthening our minds, you know, because they scoffing. All right, hey, even the scriptures say that a stone or a whip can only bruise you for now, but a words ain't nothing can't hurt you more than words. You know which you're gonna get it. All right, so to show that they what they speak All right. If not for the Most High, it would send us off of the street. So the Most High had to make our forehead strong, meaning he had to guard up our minds, you know, so that we could stand here and continue in this world regardless of what is spewed out against us. Didn't they spit on your house shy? Didn't they mock and scoff at your house shy?
Scripture said that the servant is not greater than us. So likewise, but hey, it's all right. It's suffer for righteousness,
Yep.
right?
Verse 9 says, as an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead, fear them not, neither be dismayed at looks, those are rebellious. Some we see them, they come in with the word, even in the action too, because one of the things they used to stone the prophets. All right, the whole intent was killing the prophets. So the Lord said, "What? That fear them not, neither be dismayed at all." So we don't fear them. We're not gonna fear them. We're gonna stand boldly in the streets. We're gonna stand boldly for our Lord. You see?
That's Luke. Um, I will give you a mouth that leading you on your
Adversary can gain. See. Mm-hmm. I think it's in Luke okay. Got it? Yeah.
and walk for me. Because it says, for I will give you all the adversaries not able to say or six, right? And this is going to how much say with this 100% truth. There's the wisdom and do that the adversaries that can resist or uh, it for without like when in sorry for two thirds of our people in these reservations, it doesn't make sense to them. But to the left, it makes sense. Not only does it make sense, but
All no, say, all right, Titus 1 and 15.
chapter 1 says, unto all things are pure, on them defiled, and all things pure, but even their minds and conscience are defiled.
Exactly, so to the pure, to these gonna make sense. But to unbelieving, and they defile them that choose this world over Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, to filter this world over the Most High, it won't add up to them. It's gonna be like not they yeah.
So it's not the most I
Yeah. 33 start as also those children of thy people still talking against thee by the walls and the doors of the house, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what the word that cometh forth from the mouth of the Lord.
Mary and Joseph had to have sex for her to conceive. See, and at the end of the conversation, he can still turn and say, hey, yeah, boy, Mary was a virgin. You know, foolishness.
Yep.
You
hmm
have some more?
Yeah, you got some more verse um 32. It says, And lo, thou art unto them a very lovely song of one that had a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not.
Be not hearers of one born with us. So do it. Right? You gotta do these you showing that you believe. You can't believe it for Christ and you want to jump off, you know. You
God.
understand? Even them boys, when a boy bring out young, they now start get fed up, she kite them, she think them, does not fly from the nest, and that's how the journey starts, you know, and they believe. So once you believe, you can do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where that
God. Yeah, verse 33. It says, and when this come to pass, lo, it will come,
will come,
then shall they know that a prophet had been among them.
then shall be different. When a pity forgive, when the door and mercy shut, when the prophets come out of the streets, when all hell broke loose and they're looking for answers, then is when they realize, hey, we have erred, you know,
Yep.
where that,
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
yeah, see that?
Second Ezra 15 and verse 3. It says, Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unrighteous shall die in their unrighteousness.
All the unrighteous shall die in the unrighteous. All the unfaithful shall die in the unfaithfulness. You know, so hey, those say Yahweh watching out right. So we can switch gears and we go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 50. And we can so far get into Jeremiah chapter 50. Because Jeremiah chapter 50 is a prophecy to come, right? Um, go ahead.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 1 says, The word that Yahweh speak against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet.
God, so as we go down in Jeremiah 51, you know, we can make it very clear and plain upon tables that this is not talking about ancient day Babylon, right? This is a representation to America. You know, you could get in these reputation
11.
history, history Babylon. Read about that.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 1 says, The word that Yahweh speak against Babylon
It's Babylon.
and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet.
Yeah, God. This is Revelations 11 and 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where our Lord was crucified.
And the place in America, and you see there, you saw God at Tino's and Egypt. Spiritually dead. So the Most High bring you into captivity in the land, right? And in the land you was spiritually dead, right? And it's the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans was the wise men of Babylon. This they was called the Chaldeans, right?
Which in Chaldea, right, was the country of which Babylon was the capital. Right,
Yep.
so like we got Guyana and then Georgetown being the capital. Chaldea was the country and Babylon was the capital. Right?
Well,
Verse 2, it says, declare you amongst the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not.
and this we doing today. Publishing out in public, bringing out this word, and we being concealing nothing. You know, we bringing out to this, we reading out to this book from the Old and the New Testament, right? And we conceal it. I keep it read Isaiah chapter 14 and 1.
Yeah,
Or you
and then
get some,
I
you
get
get something,
precept here, right?
you get something, I think it.
Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 17 and verse 5, which this way was actually quoting earlier, right? It says, I'm gonna read from verse 4. It says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of our fornication. Revelation 17 and 4.
Yeah.
Come.
You look again.
Yeah. Yeah, which this actually tie back into Jeremiah chapter 15. Go hand in hand, right? So it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold
Next we go on.
and precious stones.
Um, it basically outlining what America can look like. Pressure. You know, people slacking to go to America. You know, even so this is people like bored up, lining up to get there. American dream. Which we know is nothing but the dream. Right? Like both sides of our great price of the faith. America is a sinking ship right now. And it's going down surely. Right? Where that?
Yeah, it says, um, yeah, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup. All right, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of our fornication. Verse 5, it says, and upon our forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and abomination of the earth.
Mr. Babylon the Great, the mother of pilots. Well, it's not a mystery anymore because the prophets out there breaking it down who it is. You go and ask your pastor about Babylon, he can't tell you. He can't break it down to show you Babylon is America. The place where the Alpha of Shai promised to destroy with fire. Right? We got what?
Yeah, I got precept. Yeah, this is Jeremiah 49 and verse 10. It says, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Babylon is the elite of the nation of Edom, right? the Amalekites and these banking families, so-called small hats, right?
Yeah, can because you were saying that what Babylon, the Babylon of today is no longer a mystery. You know, she ain't hiding no more. And how or why is it that we could say that she's not hiding no more? Is because the Most High had revealed unto the prophets who Babylon is, who this harlot is, and the prophets uncover her, make her bare, mean strip her naked, show who she is and all she secrets.
Yeah, as you call it,
Yep,
because
yep, yep.
first these nations are flowing to Guyana taking artists for. Trinidad taking artists for.
Yep, yep, yep.
Who just blow up Venezuelan boats and kill 10, 11, 12, 13 persons without no consequence. Right? It's America.
Yep, yep,
Right?
yep.
Babylon the Great. Frida.
God. Amos 3 verse 7. It says, surely Yahweh power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
Yeah, so this is the most I do. Babylon was a mystery, but the most I reveal it unto his servants, the prophets. So we are there breaking it down. Right? One. Um, this is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, son of Amos, did see. It says, lift up the banner upon the high mountain, exalt your voice unto them, shake the hands that they may go into the gate of the north. So we're lifting up this banner, the banner we're lifting up this word, the 100% truth, you know. Continue on.
Yeah. Jeremiah 15 verse 2, it says, declare you amongst the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded.
Yeah. So Babylon is taken, there is confounded. Continue.
It says, Merodach is broken in pieces, for idols are confounded, for images are broken in pieces.
Have you read Jeremiah 49?
Yep. What verse you want to start?
And 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Because read about that first, and then I can
Jeremiah 15 verse 2, it says, declare you amongst the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not.
publish and
It says, say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, for idols are confounded, for images are broken in pieces.
and all this is for false gods.
Yep,
Right? Murder, Baal, all is of gods of ancient days, Babylon, whereby the mystery Babylon, aka America, continue to serve unto this day.
Yeah.
Right?
Even you gods too.
Yeah.
Because the whole Jesus Christ he saw setting himself up as a god is also a form of idol worshiping, which go back to Serapis Christus, right? In the time of Egypt, the time under the reign of Ptolemy.
Yeah. Jeremiah, Isaiah, sorry.
Isaiah
Jeremiah
49. Yeah, Jeremiah 49 and verse 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back. All right, and what they're telling you that in the latter days, all right, or in this latter time, the pride, all right, because what Esau ruling with right now is what is technology, which is his form of his wisdom. All right, the Musa is about to break it, you know, because he gonna ask, hey, where's your wisdom? What going on? You know, you didn't see these things happening. You see,
And it's a Timon, and Timon is considered
the wise,
the wisest
Edomites.
of the Edomite nation,
Yep.
right? It's German,
Germans, yeah.
yeah, all there's a lot of vehicles and things, there's tools, there's shoes, all make it from Germany, right? So,
Yep. It says, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. Right? It says, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he will not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
no more. Yeah, out there right now. You know, as I said, the prophets show you up.
Yep.
You know, for this one really is. Right? Yeah,
It's Amos chapter 3 and verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing but to reveal his secret unto his servants the prophets.
yep,
Right? Because when you read the book of Obadiah, it tells you how the things of Esau are true. All right, you got to go in the scriptures to understand the characteristic and the spirit of this man, which reveal that he is the wicked.
yep, yep,
All right, because the Most High will destroy what the carbon cast do. He has with all these nations. Right?
Don't mind and forward you not there and see.
That's right.
All right. Somebody could offer me Isaiah 47 and verse 12.
This is Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 12. It says, then now with thine enchantment and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail.
So, hey, Americans going to say, let us start with the enchantment. Let it go to the start of the boys and they go to the start of the and all them for seek answers. Because guess what? How about him and giving them none? Because what these devils' time is up. You know, it's time for righteousness rule is earth. So this man this man is going down. Say that, Mustafa?
Yeah, I got you, Precept.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 19. It says, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Had not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? You know, and this is what the Most High gonna be asking in this time. You know, because the wise and the prudent of this world really and truly go back to Esau, Edom. You know, they are the ones that telling you your weather forecast. You know what's gonna happen here and there. They're making plans for 2030. You know, and these different things. You see, so the Most High is telling you that look, I've made the wise of this world foolish. You know, and this is Isaiah 47 and verse 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers And the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
And all this is priesthood on the left hand side. So, we rest not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and dark powers, wickedness,
Yep, yep.
right? They are something. Yeah,
Isaiah chapter 5 and 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth.
yep,
It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I send it.
in spirit, most like conform with words that we be people with the exact precept, minutes ago. Right, and here to read again, most like conforming his words. Right? Read back verse 2.
Jeremiah 50 verse 2 says, declare you amongst the nations, and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, murder is broken in pieces, or idols are confounded, or images are broken in pieces.
Yep. And before you done talking about ancient Babylon, you talking about now, right? Because how did ancient Babylon go? Um, Darius sent out a decree and Smith, the king of Babylon, while he was having a feast, right? Somebody else in Daniel chapter 5 and sorry, Daniel 5 and 4. Just make the point. Show you how ancient Babylon went out, right?
Daniel chapter 5 and verse 30. It says, and in that night was the Shazar. All right. Daniel chapter 5 and verse 29. It says, then commanded the Shazar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck and made a proclamation concerning him that. All right. Verse 1 and verse 20.
Started the handwriting on the wall.
Let's start from verse 20. Right? This is Daniel chapter 5, verse 22. And thou, his son, Belshazzar, had not humbled thine heart, though thou knowest all this, but hast lifted up thyself against Yahweh of heaven, and they have brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines have drank wine in them, and thou hast praised the God of silver and gold, of brass, iron, wood, and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know that Yahweh, in whose hand thy breath is.
So likewise now, Esau, doing the same thing. They are pride and smart, lift me up. The scripture says, think it himself to be God, to sit it in the seat of God. Now, in ancient Babylon, the carrier of the vessels, the precious vessels from the Lord's house. Likewise now, what Esau carrying people.
Yeah, we are like the
Good. Lord's treasure. That's right. The apple of the Most High. You carry them away, right? Where that?
Yes, sir. And now knowing, and now nor know that Yahweh, in whose hand thy breath is, whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified. Verse 24. Then was the part of the hands sent from him, and this writing was written. Verse 25. This is the writing that was written. Meaning, tekel ufirsin. This is interpretation of the meaning
God has numbered, Yahweh's numbered the kingdom, that thy kingdom, and finished it.
Yep.
Verse 20.
Even now, it's like some kingdom that it got a point that it can't pass. Right? Go ahead.
Right? Verse 27. Take him, thou art weighed in the balance, and art found wanting.
So they most I weigh them in a balance with what? And a balance consists of righteous judgment. And they found what wanting, right? Because of the wickedness. Yeah.
Verse 28. Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Right? Verse 29. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet, and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him, that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. Verse 30. In that night, when Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, slain, verse 31, and Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old.
So the story how the Babylon went up, right? By Medes and Persia, right? Continue, verse 3.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 3. It says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein.
So this talking about ancient day Babylon out of the north, talking about Gog and Magog, right? Which in today is called the land of Russia, right? Read about that?
Right. It says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate,
It shall make her land desolate.
and none shall dwell therein.
None shall dwell therein. Now, ancient day Babylon is considered today is Iraq, right? And they got people living there. But this coming destruction to mystery Babylon, aka America, not gonna left nobody living there. Right? Somebody could read Ezekiel chapter 28 and 1, going into to the nation of the north that can come up against them. Right?
Ezekiel chapter 28 and 1.
Yep.
The word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus says Yahweh power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power, I will sit in thy seat of Yahweh in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not thunder. It's Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
Which the Russians occupy the land right now.
Yeah, land of Jacob, yeah.
Yep. Gog and Magog. And yep. Showing you that and even though we see going on in the world now, these small nations clinging to Russia, building up the prophecy to come. Right? Go ahead up.
Says verse 3. And say, thus says Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Verse 4. And I will turn thee back, and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine armies, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmet.
Yep.
Verse 6. Gomar and all his bands, the house of Togar,
Torgama of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them.
Good. So Russia is going to be a guard on the small nations, and they can come together to come up against America.
That's right.
Right? Look, only the other day, Russia and Russia and Belarus had a giant military drill. You know, them and China, yeah, they had a giant military drill. Russia and North Korea doing the stuff. So this is happening right now. The Most High is monster this battle, right? The battle Jeremiah 15.
My 15th verse says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast.
Yep. So nothing like a left there. Continue.
Uh, says, in those days and in that time, said Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together.
Yep.
Going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahweh, our power.
Right. So in those days, the children of it in those days and in the times of the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, and the children of Judah together, sweeping national teeth, talking about the two nations, right? They're gonna come back together because in in um in ancient day Babylon was what was just the southern kingdom went into captivity in ancient day Babylon, right? I could get from uh blah, blah, blah. First Chronicles 5 and verse 26. And somebody could get Second Kings 17 and 9. First Chronicles 5 and verse 26. Just show you when things, when Southern Kingdom went into captivity, right? At no time, Southern Kingdom wasn't in Babylonian captivity, right? Whether
First Chronicle 5 and verse 26. And Yahweh, power of Israel, stirred up the spirit of Pulu, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Tilnessar, king of Assyria, right? And he carried them away, even the Reubenites and Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them into Halan, and Habor, and Haram, and the rivers of Bosan, in unto this day. Second Kings 17 verse 9. It says, and the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right, that was not right against Yahweh, our power.
yep, Northern Kingdom,
And they built them high place in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city.
yep,
And they set up images and grove in every high hill and under every green tree.
yep,
And there they burned incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom Yahweh carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke Yahweh to anger. It says, for they serve idols, wherefore Yahweh had said unto them, you shall not do these things.
yep, yep, yep.
It says, Also, Judah kept not the commandments of
Anyway, yeah, so this it. So the southern kingdom, they was worshiping idols, making God of stone, worshiping bricks and whatnot. And most time were carried into the Assyrian captivity. So in Jeremiah 50, it says Judah and Israel was pressed together, right? So somebody could hold um Jeremiah Jeremiah 15 thoughts.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 33. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah
The southern and the northern kingdom
were oppressed together,
were oppressed together where?
and all that took them captives held them fast.
And them fast,
They refused to let them go."
and they started in Babylon. There was where the children of Israel and the children of Judah was oppressed together, right? Both southern and northern kingdom. This is going on presently. And we back to Jeremiah 50 and 4.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 4, it says, In those days and in that time, said Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping.
When are weeping, crying out to Yahweh, bashing Yahweh Shai.
They shall go and seek Yahweh, their power.
Go and seek Yahweh, their power. Somebody could go Isaiah 10 and 20 and Guru, 20.
Acts chapter 1 and verse 8. It says, But ye shall receive power after the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem, in all Judah and Samaria, and into the uttermost part of the earth. And that's what he was bringing out just now.
Yep.
That the two tribes of the two nations, which will be the northern and southern kingdom, would come across from this side, the uttermost part, and that's what being captive together. The Lord will rise up the apostles and so forth to what? Bring that let together from all of them.
Somebody put it in first. Tweet again.
Luke chapter 3 and verse 8. But ye was, behold, ye are yet this day in our captivity. Luke 3 and verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh power.
So if like us, we are yet in captivity, subject to payment, like yard to pay, rent to pay, all these things, taxes, water rate. Yeah, when you say it, everything you gotta pay for by light, internet, water, so we are yet to pay in the captivity, right?
These things die, put these things die. These things die, paper, die. If you pay insurance, don't want it to die, die on the road. You pay 15 times, like that. So they say, yeah, you pay that for money for the road. So actually, these things is very pure. We are buying these things. Well, you say, this one, I'm thinking, you got with a punch with a boy on fast.
Yeah. One second.
Then there's Luke chapter 1 and verse 6 and 9. And I'd rise up the order of salvation for us in the house of David. Yeah, in the house of the servant David. He spake by his mouth of his holy prophet, which have been since the world begun, that we should be saved from our enemy
and from the hand of all that is us.
All the nations, all the other nations, that is the right? They are our enemies. They hate us. So, all of them had a part in the captivity, right? In the fall, right? They have forward our affliction,
That's right.
right? So you take affliction?
Now this is Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemy. Yep. For ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not to Yahweh. Yeah, that's what we just read earlier. That what Israel and Judah was going on by worshiping what idols, making sacrifices unto them. It's a captivity. So you saying Deuteronomy 28 that what he had been giving us what a covenant. Yeah, yeah. Right? If you do according to his will, well, we're gonna get the blessings. But if you go against the commandments, you know, we see what the curses and the captivity was part of the curses. Right? Yeah.
So somebody could 10 and 20. Isaiah 10.
And this is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. It says, and it shall come to pass that in that day that the remnant of Israel and such are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel.
The Holy One of Israel. So it's talking about us. Korban and seek Yahweh the Torah, right?
That is Baruch chapter 2 and verse 30. For I know that they will not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves.
And it keep talking about America and all across the 4 kinds of the earth, right? Go ahead.
Verse 31 of Baruch 2. And they shall know that I am Yahweh their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear.
Yep.
Verse 32. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. God. Jeremiah 50 and verse 4, it says, in those days and in that time, said Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come. Yep. They and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahweh, our power.
Somebody could get Isaiah chapter 19 or 18. Isaiah 19.
Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 18. And in that day shall 5 cities in the land of Egypt speak the language of Canaan, and swear unto Yahweh boast. One shall be called the city of destruction.
It says in the land of Egypt, right? And America is spiritually called Egypt also. All these wicked kingdoms before America take on the traits, you know, serve the God, doing some of the same foolishness that and some and even more than what these other nations did, right? Go ahead up.
Verse 19, it says, in that day shall there be an altar of Yahweh in the midst of the land of Egypt.
Altar in the midst of Egypt, and it started with the school at at one west, right? The apostles and elders, they start from. Go ahead.
It says, and a pillar
And a pillar.
at the border thereof the house.
Yep.
Right? Verse 20. And it shall be for a sign
It shall be for a sign
and for a witness
and for a witness.
unto Yahweh of hosts in the land of Egypt, for they shall cry unto Yahweh because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them.
And it's talking about a miracle, right? The land, Judah and Israel, we press together. Most I can send a savior to them, and then there can be an altar, set up, to teach His word and to bring back the children of Israel to our Bashan Shai. And also, it said they can start be destroyed. The city, America, aka Babylon, right?
So I was just saying that they're going to speak the land of Canaan, which went back to the last Hadash.
Yep.
Right? Because we read chapter chapter 19. Chapter 19, the Lord will reveal
Yeah.
a pure language. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's Zephaniah 3 and 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may call upon the name of Yahweh to serve him with one consent. So you read in the book of Baruch. That what that they shall remember themselves and think upon the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Jeremiah 50 and verse 5 says, they shall act the way to Zion, with their face towards, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
Yeah, so they shall look to Zion. Zion represents Israel, right? They shall look towards the Our Bashan and say, come let us go and serve the Lord, right? So I'm here right now. Read it back up. Read it back one more time.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 5, it says, they shall act the way to Zion, with their face towards, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
And so they're going to go, is to say, for special covenant, they shall not be forgotten. They're going to be looking towards the new covenant, right? Somebody read Isaiah 55. Isaiah 55, Isaiah 55 and 1. Or somebody can read Isaiah 63 and 17.
Yeah, good one for you.
Go ahead.
This is Luke chapter 5 and verse 5 says, arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east,
Yep.
and slack it toward the east, and behold, thy children gather from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of our power. Yep. And this is how we gathering in these last times by the word of the Lord. And what we doing, we looking towards the east.
Isaiah 55 and 1. To everyone that thirsted, come here to the waters, and he that had no money, come here, buy and eat. Yea, and come, buy wine and milk without money and without price.
So the example for the scripture, so the precept said that they can turn and look towards Zion, they can look to the street.
That's right.
They not bite, but they just got to pay attention, right? Learn from the men that our Bashan Shai set up. Right? 17, Isaiah 63, 17. And somebody could go down. Romans 8. Just going into the covenant because hey, we can look towards for this. Like they can look towards the new covenant, a perpetual covenant means something that is continued forever and ever, right?
Isaiah 63 and verse 17 says, "Oh Yahweh, why hast thou made us the earth from thy waste,
Yeah,
and hardened our hearts from thy fear?
I fear.
Return, return for thy servant's sake, the tribes of thy inheritance."
How did I hear that? Yes, right.
Verse 18, "The people of thy holiness have possessed it but a little while. Our adversary have trodden down thy sanctuary. We are thine," verse 17, "we are thine, thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by thy name."
So we our land for a while, right? King Solomon for 40 years, right? And that was just for a short time. So the prophet Isaiah saying, "Hey Lord, turn back to us, you know, and be with us as in the beginning," right? Um, going into the covenant now, somebody get wrong with it.
Hebrews.
Hebrews 8, and you could also get the same thing in Isaiah, Jeremiah 31 and 30.
Yeah, this is Hebrews 8, from verse 7. It says, For if that the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. Verse 8, for finding fault with them,
Finding fault with them,
he said,
the Israelites, right? So, um, we we the one at fault. Is we can't keep the law perfectly. We the one which go out. There's nothing wrong with the law, right? Well, that's why we look forward to the new covenant, wherein you will be able to keep the law perfectly. Continue.
yeah, can. And if I could say, right, so like,
Right.
yeah, the fault that the Lord found in them was basically in the flesh.
Yep.
You understand? This is why the Most High had to give us new bodies.
Right.
You know, so the pressing down that the flesh is have on the spirit will no longer be in effect. You know, because the body's gonna be right. You know. Okay.
And
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 20. It says, "For the preacher was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who subjected the state in God." Right?
because like if you just read it, I said, why are the God in heaven? Right? Where that? Where the
Yeah, like you read them into the covenant, you realize that not only, right, that we will receive a new covenant, but also new bodies to it. Because these bodies, right, and this will show that these people that believe that, hey, we are the new covenant, sticking ahead. Because this case now in is still under the old covenant. Right? That's why we are the both, because there was the spirit, you know, with the flesh right now. Yeah, right? And that's why we need the house. Right? Right? So that's just so that, hey, we not in the that's not a point.
as you running it down, you can say right.
Yeah. It says, verse 8, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
They're going back to what the two nations, Judah and Israel, Southern kingdom, right?
Yeah, so that new covenant, right, that was made is with Yahushua. You understand? Yahushua paid the ultimate price. That's it. First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 12. Now, if Mashiach be preached that he rose from the dead, how say some among you that there is no resurrection of the dead? But if there be no resurrection of the dead,
then is Mashiach not risen? And if Mashiach be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain.
Exactly.
Right.
So what we hope for is just that we preach it in subject to vanity, right? Who are we have subjected in hope? And what is that hope? The hope is we hope for the kingdom to come. We hope for the in a way, right, of this wicked place. We receive new bodies from this sick. You know, those signs say that we in as a people. These are hope, right? And then for the second come with new bodies, new intellect, everything is brand new. Right? Give the scripture starts only among is, you know, basically born again, and I would say is a preacher. Understand? So that's the covenant that is Yahweh Shai is involved in that. That's right. So Yahweh Shai did come and pay the ultimate price. But where it's going to be fulfilled is in that twinkling of an eye when the trumpet blow when it comes. Because if we still going through that fulfilling part in ourselves, we gotta drink the same cup. We still gotta do the work. We gotta show loyalty. We gotta, you understand? As it's written, the prophecy must come to pass. And the prophecy part with us, being fulfilling in us, right? Doing the work, is that has to come to pass. Not just, I was like that, you get a free ticket.
It's the same thing. For John said, we know not what we shall be, but when he appear, we shall be like him.
Yeah.
Right? Could continue Hebrews here.
Yeah, 8%.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, this is Hebrews 9, a couple of verses, right? But bear with me. Hebrews 9 and verse 14. It says, how much more shall the blood of Yahushai and Mashiach, who through the eternal spirit offered himself without spot to the Most High, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living power. And for this cause, he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of transgressions that were under the first testament, that which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Yeah.
So basically, like you said in Romans 8, you understand? It was promised in it. Because number one, it was the flesh. And Jacob, but then, wickedly, used to think that it would do substitutional things to get rid of sin. The scripture says, so you know, by the blood of bulls and goats, you have no flesh in there. Right? Therefore, body was prepared for us. And there's no. Who the Christian, right? They basically think that, hey, it's just talking about the whole covenant is done away with, right? If Yahweh has come and done away with covenant, as we get in, I believe I'll get into when somebody put the match, all right? If Yahweh has come to done away with the kingdom, then it's basically agreeing we are not taking for sin. And the scripture says, so he has given no man like sin, right? So Yahweh he being word. Now, simple example, thou shalt keep the Sabbath. If the law was done away with, we didn't have to keep that. The feast days, we didn't have to keep that. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other God. He's saying, if that was done away with, then the foolishness.
You mean that your wife will give you some good blow and nothing wrong with it.
Right? The ignorance when these Christians say the law is done away with, the law is basically is what governs us as a people. The law starts some commandment only. Right? Hey, if the law is done away with, there's no Israelite. Yeah, we get it in the same way you found great
German.
Yeah, even so, Yahushua keep the law. Yahushua was the only person that keep the law perfectly in the flesh. He had no sin. Right? So if so, God Christians say that Yahushua is the mother, well, do as he do.
right.
Because he kept the law perfectly. But we know that we can't keep the law perfectly in this flesh. Because the Apostle Paul said, sin dwelleth in us.
That's right.
Right?
Right? That's the idea, right? And then it's not just the Israelites. You mentioned earlier, right? State church fire. The ordinance is true. That's how the Sabbath was made to man. That man was stubborn, right? And when we check the lights in the government, right? The time for signs, season, days, and years, and these things still
uphold and do what it's supposed to. If the law was done away with, even the earth itself would have fallen out of white and it's about nothing. The moon, the sun, everything would have fallen. Gravity would have been out of place. Everything would have been in confusion. Your ass for what God the breath in your mouth, to breathe and speak abominable thing against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You wouldn't even be breathing today. Air wouldn't air.
And yes, you say, even though you saw that to get into, you would have win.
Yep.
Hey,
You would have win.
because the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he's sizing. Right? And that's the argument that's right. He show favor to the just and the unjust. Right? And you Edomites, what using this, what was given to you, hey, your destruction is soon that's coming. Soon that's coming.
In Romans chapter 9 and verse 1, I say the truth, in Mashiach I like that. My conscience also bear with me. Bear it is the holy God. That I am grieving every heaviness, that continuous sorrow in my heart, for I could wish that myself was a course for Mashiach, for my brethren, for my kinsmen, according to the flesh. I love to show you this what Paul and how we can be in our tribulation, because in these nations, God, it's not nothing easy that what we go through. Each nation would be but I'm just like we say, what the Lord done away. When Gemini asked Gemini about Matthew chapter 5 was everything going down, talking about Matthew that come to fulfill law, and we have to break it down. We say it don't mean the law is not established. It's established that certain things come down, put like the blood sacrifice, like animal couldn't do the normal. And I'm sure these making things show you, hey, they won't think tell you, hey, what is it? And you say tutorial out to because when what is there, Gemini, scholars them that will translate the Bible and things like that. Gemini is their explanation of the story. It's not Gemini who has them. I don't show you. And it's like what? And it's like what? Some people say that Gemini is right. But what people saying, hey, people are done away. They can stay in our captivity.
And technically, right? Technically, even the law of sacrifice did not do away with, because Yahushua became that perfect and ultimate sacrifice. Because after there's nothing else that you could offer to the Most High. You understand the fulfillment of it,
That's I was saying that all the price, right? We have been brought for the price, and that price was the sacrifice. Oh, Yahushua, the blood of Yahushua, right?
Yeah. I got a couple more verses in this, right? We have verse 16. It says, "For where a testament is, there must also of necessity be the death of the testator. For a testament is of force after men are dead. Otherwise, it is of no strength at all while the testator liveth." That's right. So after the death of Yahushua, it is the only way that the second covenant or the New Testament could be enforced. You understand?
Yep. And that's why it says Christians that if they had known the way to put to death, right? By they put the outside to death, the whole portion of the new covenant, we start rolling, right? You got more that?
Yeah.
Is it got preserved and then back to it? Yeah.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17, it says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Fulfill, because to fulfill what? To fulfill the things in the law that is written about you, that you have to suffer, right? You have to be beaten by the Romans. They're gonna gamble on the garment. You know, these things that was fulfilled, not the law, but the things that was said in the law about Yahushua. He would be given into the hands of Israel, into the hands of the Romans. These are things that was fulfilled. That's the Bible. We have all that.
Right. It says, verse 18, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or tittle shall no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled.
Yeah, because the law was made to govern. Sorry, in the book, in the kingdom, the laws will be established. The law is righteous. The law abides forever, just like Israel, right? Because go back to the finish up.
You want to go into the word fulfill?
Go ahead.
It's like la also the Yahushua you competent. Like la the Yahushua that like in this place so our church when they make law or you break their law they are judged according to law. Because I go here law for we die here. So some penalty. Like reckless and a catcher, they carry in front of the court, give the penalty, you that they have to pay fine. And you don't know the fine, it won't be easy. Because what, you got to pay 12,000 a day. Then after you have to for sport. Then after you get a bigger fine now. And that will show you the law is good and established.
Yeah, can. It's all right. G1096, right? When you go down to the Strongs, it says to cause to become, to be used, so that to arise, to be assembled, be brought, come to pass, continue, right? Because remember, you're talking about the laws and the prophets. So he actually fulfilled a lot of the prophecies that was written by the prophets, right? Those are the things that he fulfilled. You know, he fulfilled a lot of prophecy. You know, bring them to pass, right? When you go down more, however, it says to be kept. All right, and those referring to the laws now. The laws have to be kept. All right, you know. And I went into the definition because there is a precept that is tie up a lot of Christians because they believe the word fulfilled in the verse is referring to the English definition fulfilled. All right, you know, where everything comes to a full stop. You know, but you are going to the Greek to get the right application of which definition. You know.
You Christians, when your pastor fulfill his office, it means that what he's doing office of a pastor unto you. You understand? It doesn't mean that all right, to fulfill a pastor. When you fulfill being a pastor, it comes to an end. And from y'all understanding, there's different level in theology. I know foolishness when it comes to Yahushua. When it comes to Yahushua and the law, well, that's up to when the law could be done. You see? When the scripture starts out the most high word, changes not.
And you know, if you read a little bit more, it even says to be made to partake. You know, so you have to partake of the law. You know,
to perform, to be performed, to publish. All right, we just gotta go into the Greek and the Hebrew to get the right, definition and see how it applies. Right?
In Romans chapter 7 and verse 12. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment is holy, just and good. Don't show that the commandment and the law is just and good. Show that how people are taking things and put it on, them on order. That himself in them who have lives. Yeah. They don't want a white man. They don't want to change. And don't show you most I said right. Most I wouldn't left your time, yeah, careless.
Yeah, continue. Okay. This is back in Hebrews 8 verse 10. It says, for this is Salakia, verse 9. It says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said Yahweh. Verse 10. Because what the people said when Moses sprinkled the blood on them. Right? So this they basically take a pledge that they're gonna follow in the ways of the Most High. Yeah, so this is Exodus 24:7 says, and he took the book of the covenant and read it to the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord Yahweh power has said, will we do and be obedient. You understand? So that's what they say. That's what they call upon themselves. All right. Now, when Yahweh shall return, when Yahweh shall return, the foolishness they have said when Yahweh shall was being crucified, let the blood be upon us and our children. He's saying foolish to turn. All right. Verse 8, and it says, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it upon the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words. And guess what? It's I believe it's how much strokes he received with the cattail. 40 strokes. And let me tell you, it was blood and flesh was sprayed. It was sprinkling upon the audience when Yahushua received his punishment. All right? Even when the bore him with the spear, blood came out. Right? Blood was flowing all down the street. Who is taught upon him and all these things? And he said that he let the blood be upon us, our children. And this negativity they call it upon ourselves. But Yahweh guide us into the truth, and we make ourselves a living sacrifice. We show gratitude for the sacrifice. Now,
This is Hebrews 9 and verse 22. And almost all things are by the law purged with blood, and without the shedding of blood there is no remission of sin. Exactly. And this way just saying.
Yeah, because without the shedding of blood, because that's the thing. Yahweh blood had to replace those goats and bones.
That's right.
You understand? Because there was no pleasure on them. There's this thing that you gotta say that was left upon the people.
That's right.
Yahweh came and that was changed. Right? Yeah. It says, that's according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them out of the land of Egypt to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said Yahweh. For this
is the covenant that I will make with them, that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said Yahweh. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people.
So there's what is the important. If we back Jeremiah 55.
In the time of Moses, they said, so we all were saved with Luke. But this time they're not going to just say it, they're going to mean it. Because if the scripture says, so faith is not just like do it, right? Just like hearing the word, it's also like do it, right? And this is going to be their actions. And that's going to be the fulfillment as well, because when we see the new body and those new heart, it's going to manifest. Our conversation is going to be according as those, right?
Thoughts, rebelliousness, one of those things. So we back 5 again.
God. Jeremiah 50 and verse 5, it says, they shall act the way to Zion, with their face thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten.
So this new covenant we're talking about, covenant is join yourself to Yahweh. So a perpetual covenant which shall not be forgotten. Right? Verse 6.
God says, my people have been lost sheep.
My people have been lost sheep.
Their shepherd has caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountain. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
So it's talking about these leaders, right? Lead.
So the leaders, the governors, because every mountain, the plateaus, every governance, every leadership, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, right? Your political leaders, all these things they're going to get salvation. But the way you're gonna, what is going to say, you're not gonna find that new covenant there. It is not there. It's with Yahweh Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakakundash. You understand? Because people look at all the time, they're putting them out for drink from everywhere. Right? And the true function of wisdom is right here.
Somebody can read Psalms 100 verse, right? Somebody can go Matthew chapter 10, 5 and 6. Read back verse 6 again.
Yeah. Jeremiah 50 and verse 6, it says, my people has been lost sheep.
Yes, right. Even to how I said the same thing, and saying you about only the last sheep of the house of Israel. Right? Where?
It says, their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Was the pastor, the so-called religious leaders, Malcolm X, and these fellows, right? Lead them to stray. And even so, in this time right now, they got wicked Israelites that start set up as though they're Israelites, and they teach the wrong thing, leading people astray, right?
Bring a food to the children. Eat food. How much big? Allah
So, why things that say write down the problem on this piece of paper and put it to this basket and reward yourself. When you write down the problem out and you they read out the problem and then they see you come to church, start out your own problem and then you want to go. God will give you. But you give them the information, they just use the information that they got from you against you.
To deceive you.
To deceive you. Bring your application and I will pray for your application. I can get job. So if I call the application to them and I got a place for a hiring, they will take me on. It's foolishness. But our people love to have it so. Right?
The same universal church, right? What they is doing is nothing short of witchcraft. Because what it is actually asks you to do as well is
bring pictures of your family member that you want to get healed and them thing, which is like common practice in witchcraft, in broad daylight witchcraft, right? Foolishness, these people have me putting my hand on the TV screen. You know, telling you summoning the fucking Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
This is the nonsense thing they got people doing.
With the glass of water.
With the glass of water.
Hey,
I see what he's
so why I will actually criticize this for this truth. You know, because hey, it's a sad thing to look back on, and that's why you know in prayer, the prayer asks the Most High to forgive you of the trespasses that you make against. And just like the woman also pray just like you. Because hey, your son.
I was saying, right? What it's actually do is burn the paper, right? Or burn the picture of your family members and things, which is, again, it's a common practice in witchcraft. Because we actually used to go to church. My mother was deep into the church, right? And looking back at it, a lot of the things that they do that they was doing then, you don't know what exactly these people doing because they're telling you they're bringing some olive oil from Israel. I look back from it and think, you know what? Well, you some coconut this when you yourself. Here, right now, it's a war with here, and nothing they're gonna get like water from Jordan. Right now, Israel in a mess, bro. Within the do one video thing, right? The man who one video that depends on what. I was in someone so people lashing out, living and giving people and
This is the thing. People flock to them. I would say we got the real water, which you would drink and never thirst again. And look, nobody here. Nobody. Hey, it's all right.
And the reason why I'm going in from on them, right, is because my mother actually gave them a picture of me. And I tell me mother, don't do that, no. That was one of my favorite pictures of it. To this day, I vex about the fucking thing. To this day, I'm gonna have to one of the picture. Yeah. You know, your shoes on arms, the stronghold is basically wisdom, and the hope on the witchcraft, the evil, the favor myself, and that's why I give praise. They are washed. Right? That's why I said there's no enchantment against you. Because if some people you believe it, you shake a bottle in front of them, and you tell them, hey, I enchant you, they believe that shit, and they trip. You want to tell me, but the scripture says what faith coming by what? Hearing and hearing of the word. If any man cometh unto you with any other word, right, other than this, he's a liar, right? And the light is not in him. You understand? So all this falsehood, right? It's like think about it. The things that you would do to make a child feel intimidated. Hey, I buy no city for you if you don't do this. No more people start thinking, hey, I can dare if me get this city by. I best do what you say. You understand? It's the same thing. Adults grow up now and they say, hey, if we burn this picture here, say, you know, it can get rid of all your sins. When the scripture said, thou shalt take a photo burning. And but which in yeah, image is supposed to burn and worship. You understand? And the one thing on the right side, it's like take away the photo. You like it. Yeah, you know.
But you looking fly, you know.
Yeah. Hey, y'all praise y'all pastor for this wisdom.
Yeah, and to show this witchcraft, I believe it was Jezebel, and she used the cloak of I think it was Eli or Samuel to summon Samuel. Yeah. You know so you know
I talk about precept.
Sam.
Yeah.
Wisdom that
This is Psalm chapter 100 and verse 3. It says, know ye that Yahweh, he is power. It is he that made us and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture.
Israel is people and sheep of his pasture. When we you got that? Yeah, you got it, my 15 and 6.
Jeremiah 15 verse 6, it says, my people has been lost sheep. Their shepherds has caused them to go astray. They have torn them away on the mountain.
Yep.
They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
Got the resting place. And the resting place, but it's true. You know, in trusting in our body and shine. Right? Um, anybody getting Matthew? Matthew 10, 5? Yeah.
Yes, Isaiah 52 and verse 1. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garment, O Jerusalem, the holy city. From henceforth, they shall no more come into thee, uncircumcised and uncleanness. And thou shalt the most I say, hey, put off them all, them uncleanness. Talking about what these are doctrine and this philosophy. These church ones set up and giving you. Going down where say, shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem, loose thyself from the from the from the bond of thy neck, O captivity of the daughter of Zion. And then we show the most I say, shake ourselves from this dust and stuff. God does bring confusion. And these are the church that put it down about what bring picture and bring water and all the Bible and stuff like that, you know. When there's confusion, when you're nothing about you know it about the nationality, who is you and who is the creator. All you're just knowing about what? Another nation God.
Yeah, you can read up.
Yeah, which one the Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew 10, starting 5.
Matthew 10 and verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into the cities of the Samaritans enter ye not.
God, this one, yeah, 12 disciples, right? Yeah. So, come down. Well,
6. It says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
yep. Down the first.
It says, and as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right? Read John 10 and verse 15. Because, hey, these are false pastors and false teachers preaching nothing but hirelings. Scripture calling hirelings that lead the flock astray. Right?
So John 10 and verse 15, it says, as the Father knoweth me, even so I the Father. And I lay down my life for the sheep. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice.
So, how should I lay them like left revelation of Israel? I should have written for the southern kingdom, which was scattered throughout northern kingdom. So, northern kingdom, which was scattered in places like Galatia, Crete, the emphasis on these places, right?
When you come onto the land where no man have never dwelt, right? You have people like who they call today the Mayans and these different people that the barbaric culture, right? Jake that drift into the hostile culture. Because that's one of the things they used to still try to worship, but they give image unto it. The serpent with the sun. All that was the image of Yahushua. Right? But they think they put image to Yahushua. And that was going on. You know, it was in Jake's spirit. Jake just like take one brain, witchcraft, of falsehood with the truth.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 7, it says, all that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries say, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers.
And so all that from them devour them. You know, we went into each and every captivity, right, of this nation. So somebody could read Lamentation 2 and verse 15. Lamentation 2 and 15, and somebody could read um, Zechariah 1 and
Lamentation 2:15. It says, all that pass by clap their hands.
yep. So the rejoice at Israel downfall.
Sorry.
Where
Says they hit and bump their head at the daughters of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth?
look down upon us. Right? When you stand into this goes into to all the enemies and side of the first one. Right?
Yep. And again, what is our beauty? What make this place beautiful and so perfect? Right? Maybe we could read that in the book of Numbers. I think somebody read it earlier. They talk about this wisdom unto the nation, and they say, so what else? You know,
Deuteronomy 4 and 5. You want it?
maybe we could get a
You want to read it?
yes, what?
Yeah, Deuteronomy 4 and verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Exactly, and that's what we have called from, right?
Uh,
And this is Zephaniah chapter 1, and verse 15. Say that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress. You see what? Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 1 and verse 15 says, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease.
and this now Washington. And went to that's why
Says, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forwards affliction.
yep, yep, so the picture. One kind of not kind of give to our people, to our children, to our women, feed them to alligators, you know, next fourth of them, you know, all kind of wickedness these nation did to Israel.
The section where they used to cut the baby out and stick the mother out to the mother of the baby, which was like, yep, stuff like that. That's the it's a brick. You understand? Give lash out your teeth just to eat sort of food. You know, animal waste, stuff like that.
Poetry, these things that practice upon children, right? That for them that is still alive. See how sort icons, right? So hey, this of this nation is towards Israel. We got 7 now.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 7 says, all that found them have devoured them.
Yep.
And their adversaries say, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers.
Yeah, so them and borders are accountable. And look at what um Saddam doing in Israel right now. Look at what they're doing to Venezuela. You know, the bombing ships killing people and they just justify themselves because they in power, right? Continue on.
Says, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he goat before the flock.
So this Yahweh saying say move out to the midst of Babylon. Oh, spiritually, don't go after ship philosophies, don't go after ship doctrines, don't follow Sharia eating, don't follow rioting. You know, remove from these things, right? Read it back up.
And it says, remove out of the midst of Babylon
Mm-hmm.
and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he goats before the flocks.
He has to for the flocks. Follow a leader. He goes in this precept representing the apostles and elders. They got lead straight way. Somebody could read Proverbs 13, I think it's verse 29. Yeah, back up was saying Proverbs 14, 29.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 29. There be three things which go well.
Which go well.
Yea, four are comely in going. A lion which is strongest among beasts, and turneth not away for any. A greyhound and he goat also,
Yeah.
and a king against whom there is no rising up.
That move stormily towards where they're going to, without wavering, just doing it after if the apostles and elders bring back up.
Yes, always check the nature of the goat when they two shape up for match, right? Even if one is match, he's still running for both and ram.
Yep.
You understand the goats because it's much, then you got fall. And if even sometimes when you're playing, even if the smaller one hit the bigger one, is going to you understand? It's just like knowing that small people, but hey, our ram is strong.
Because so keep that mind, a lot of sheep, places that sheep is fighting to go, they will go in the cedar eagle too. So this will order the sheep, that is to go specifically into the region, right? And this is talking about the apostles and elders sign up storm for righteousness and keep pushing. Look at Apostle to ours, how much years I think it's for 7 years. There's more years than either on the face of the earth. And this man continues preaching and teaching the gospel. Right? Continue. Yeah.
But watching this collector, right? How this word is so beautiful, right? And even in this last night, and he quotes us pushing this word. You understand? Guyana was celebrity past just now. She didn't realize they were she calling it. You know, just showing you how this work is, because it's a reason why Yahweh I put me out in the streets to do this work. Yeah. If we were hidden in some building, these people would pass and say we could never, hey, we never see these men or never hear about it. But when the time do come and I'm saying that ain't gonna be no question and I'm something, it can be seared in the mind that hey, I took this from up and I passed the street, goal was right there. You understand?
Basically,
Yeah. I am
because the city of the hear this word. Yeah, read it back again now.
Jeremiah 50 verse 8, it says, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as the he goats before the flock.
Yep. The spiritual, right? Go ahead up.
It says, For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty archer, and none shall return in vain.
So the most like bring a mighty nation from the north, bring back to Russia, right? And Russia, China, Iran, and these places, they shoot missiles to America. Somebody did second Ezra 13. Yeah, second Ezra 16:13, and somebody put Joel 2, with just going to those arrows, because those arrows is a representation for these missiles, so intercontinental ballistic missiles, right?
This is 16 and verse 30. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow.
And when the boat
His arrows that shot are sharp and shall not miss.
not miss, every single missile that is set to target America will hit,
Like a sudden rain on your zinc.
will hit every single one. That's where is it?
See, when they begin to be shot into the end of the world,
To the end of the world,
behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
good.
So yeah,
Good.
when it shoot, right, ain't diverted into space, going in some wormhole and thing. When I want to go up in the air, like it's explained, you can say, yeah, Joel.
Yeah, I just started reading
Fast.
Yeah, Joel. Yeah, Joel.
Joel 2.
yeah. We back last time we just read it.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 9. It said, For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken.
Shall be taken.
Their arrows
There are rules.
shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
Look, to this message, my area,
Yeah.
where
Go
I'm,
on, start from 2.
yeah,
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 2. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Exactly, because when it's announced to over that there will be possible, a matter of fact, the VN takes up a ballistic war, everybody is going to who's searching for family, trying to dig the biggest hole for go underground for survive the attack. You understand? So everybody gonna shake him to the bone. They're gonna shake the piss out to the body, they're gonna shit themselves. Because I realize that they're in the area whereby these attacks, they're going ain't gonna survive. So all they're gonna do is walk and kiss the loved one. Some of them are trying to lash the last lash, keep the last food. You're telling you it's gonna be sad. And they can't get left because you're dead just now.
you know, it's a year the side also. Alarm going up. And
The place could be bright sun and just be sunlit, everything looking dark.
yeah, yeah.
You so frightened, the sun's so hot, we're complaining about all the time. You don't got time like they don't burn you. Because it's sunny every day. This is the gloom, gross. Yeah.
And the sheer number of missiles alone will black out.
Yeah.
Like, yep. If Sparks got to say we gonna dance, we gonna fight in the theater or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, our road is so much that they can block the sun. Looks like block the sun. That's okay. We shall fight in the shade.
Yeah, kind of says, and as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there had not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it.
That's really going into what the destruction of America. After then, after this tsunami, nothing more like it because what God can be in peace under the rulership of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. There shall be no more war. That's how we know that 1948, when they installed them Israel in the land and for them to people, say that they fulfill the prophecy with people going back into the land. It's, it's, it's madness because right now as we speak, there's war going on directly in the land. Yep.
I see a piece of news Guatemala threatening Belize. No, but hey, those what the prophecy say, right? Wars are rumors of war.
Yep. Okay, now this war, guess who's the main man behind it? It's either the rare hearts that Revelation 6 talk about. You know, it said that he can take peace from the earth. And this is exactly what this man doing. Go ahead,
Look, you know the blood from our boat.
yeah. And yeah,
Right? So this man confident, this man bold, and they doing a boat.
yeah.
You doing it, boom. We gonna do look another one that we gonna do. Now what you know the thing, we do reflect back. And the man so alright, like maybe I didn't hear the first time. Boom. We gonna
and they just go to show, right? Yeah, read earlier that they had no regard to the children of Israel. They forward the children of Israel's affliction and they hold not this comfortable. Because look at the guy who got assassinated last week. Where was his name? Clark or
Kirk.
right? Yeah, Charlie Kirk. When he was assassinated, there was and there is a lot of cry still going on. Yeah, he was so good. He got young. The shouldn't have happened. This,
Right.
but at the same time, they bombing people and rejoicing about him, saying, "Hey, I do it." So the 9 or 12 lives that get bombed, them already nobody crying for what Charlie Kirk people cry for.
right. The scripture say he living by the sword shall walk. Right by the sword.
Die by the sword. And if the people that what it say, they got people lamb as death or make hope as death. They was knocked out. They lose the job for doing that.
It's just like radical the most time that he gets shoot in the top box.
Yeah.
Right in the throat.
But just show you that Said in power and what he feel it in you. But when you get killing people here, there, and everywhere, it's all good. I said I got drugs. You know?
If the Jake them were making AI with Jesus Christ sleeping on the sky and come up Charlie Clark. And lift you up into heaven.
Yeah.
That the apostle Paul, the apostle these different apostles, Timothy, all them that come and greet you and making reference that how I was killed for the word of God and so on. The Charlie Kirk is like posting next step like I get shooting in it.
Just another part in our system, to push a certain agenda. Some of the things we say was actual facts, but some of the push it because one thing we used to do is saying that slavery wasn't as bad as it is, and we should stop crying about slavery and move on. Maybe you move on now.
Any truth is speaking while it's lying, it is just simply a beautiful lie. There's no, hey, which we could he didn't make sure it split out the hole. Yeah. You understand? But anybody speaking any so-called truth and there's a lie in it, it's just a beautiful lie. There ain't no truth.
Yeah, continue. Joel, you want to comment?
I was going to say, one of his philosophy was that gun rights gun come with a certain amount of debt, gun related debt, and he's okay with that. Just one of the things that he actually said for me.
Yeah.
Right, so I guess he okay with his debt by his word.
No, there was regretting he when that man goes up. Does the body trying for like catching bullet before being by already in there? Like, so you that was it. It's just that you go for it and what I love. Why even die at the queue? Gun violence. You understand? It's not that hey, but it's not that we got anything as men the Lord personally against these men. We just hate sinners and liars, right? And you two turn because you know what? He is not a face of a multitude, and as the multitude has created in vain to perish.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah.
But in the 12, it says, verse 3, a fire devoured them before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing shall escape. So everything, every living thing, everything. Yeah, you got some more?
Yeah, and it says, the appearance of them is as of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
Outside out, into the atmosphere, get to the destination. America, Babylon the Great. Yeah,
Yep. It says, verse 5, like the noises of chariots on the tops of the mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, a strong people set in battle array.
So it's just like the multitude like an army when they face off. I had a whole spread out, right? It's just like you check when you check like for instance when when the archer open I see multiple missiles head or head of the people of stuff. You understand it?
even straight to the fire, they are even destruction. Incident.
Yeah, because before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness.
You don't think black, the sky, all of a sudden I used to face, right? You go out to the small that's like, hey, this thing coming down, and there's no way we could try to do this.
Okay.
Superman fly and save it.
Yeah. It can happen so quick. It's nothing that they could do but stand and wait for it. Right? So, somebody could get Revelation 17 and 17, 15 and 6. Because not only Russia, but also even though America allies will shoot missiles on them too. Furthermore, every missile that was made will be shot that day.
Because what? He building up a plane himself. Whereby this man is showing no more city, even a little boat. And trying for lose no vessel. So they realize, people don't realize when the four shots shot at them, hey, if this man get up, this man up, fuck shit up. So everybody can start to maintain that they don't come into this last, they do that great city. Because that's what these nations they come to the realization, hey, we just can't get them firing at them. Yep. You are putting them too because if these people only get up on, we done for.
Like with Revelation 17.
Yeah, Revelation chapter 17 and verse 15. It says, "And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest
10 horns which thou sawest
upon the beast,
upon the
these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire."
and so NATO and the EU, Turkey, Germany, France, um, England, all them may shoot missile towards America, destroying the place. Why you get
Yeah. Obadiah verse 7 says, "All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." Yeah, which basically say that what? That all the nations that were in one cahoot with America, all right, eventually gonna turn on her. All right, because what they're gonna realize is what the how you say the atrocities, all right, they basically gonna turn enemies, because they're gonna be like, hey, what America is doing or what America stand for, there is no longevity in it, so to speak. You see? And I believe in Revelations it actually quotes it like that. Um, yeah, but go ahead, go ahead.
Read about that?
Obadiah.
No, no.
Jeremiah 50 and verse 9, it says, "For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. For thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain." It says, "And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, said Yahweh."
So all the nations can be satisfied when to these missiles to America, right? Somebody could get Revelation chapter 18. Read next verse.
Verse 11, it says, "Because you are glad, because you rejoice, O you destroyers of my heritage, because you are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bull and billow as bulls."
So America go fat for both inheritance after the Israelites. With 350 years of slavery, 250 years of free war, so they'll make them rich. Not only in America, they are slaves in the Caribbean too. Planting sugar, planting bauxite, had them mining gold, and what they rip out all these resources and make themselves up. Okay?
Says, "Your mother shall be sore confounded."
Right quick, right there. And even that was one of the things that same fellow Charlie Kirk or whatever couldn't understand, right? Because he's saying that Jake don't deserve any sort of reparations or any sort of recompense, really, is what he was saying, all right? Because that was the old generation and now it's now, but he don't understand, for one, there's a such thing as reincarnation, all right? And the most I don't make a judgment pass you. They never pay for all of the stuff that they did back then. So they got to pay for it now.
Because we also don't understand the fact we're saying is that even to when they reach a their peak in America, it took generations of sacrifice. You understand? Which is a generation of sacrifice to destroy us. So for us to get back on our feet, is a generational sacrifice, and it's for us to match them. Right? When you check it, it's basically people get back at them for what they have done. Because under their system and their foolishness, they ain't gonna allow Jake to write. And the foolishness he was saying is that we used to be blamed. Places like Black Wall Street and so on, when Jake was trying to do something for themselves, which they was doing after they bought it. They destroy these places. Everything that Jake's trying to flourish in, they destroy. When they then realize that here, the black out soul is what actually keeping us focused. The black man the out, the so far black man the out. Let's destroy it out. Put the system whereby the man of the out to the house and just visit the home. You visit your home and live in a home.
Somebody do that Revelation chapter 13 and 9. Yeah.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. It says, if any man has an ear, let him hear. He that leaveth into captivity shall go into captivity. Yep. He that killeth with a sword must be killed with a sword.
Yep.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saint.
So these revelation that we're looking for. So put back that either and his nation into captivity. This is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Yep. And,
right?
and this show that it was the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, causing Charlie Kirk and the like manner to say that we don't deserve a reparation.
Yep.
You understand? Because what they could give, we can't recompense for what they did to us. And the true reparation gonna come, when Yahushai make his return.
Yep. Because, even to then when you look at how he starts setting up this RFID microchip, it's that hey, then is the time you can say listen, bring the reparation now. Check this, you start to $1,000 on it, and double the reparation.
You don't deserve it because your living. However, you take it out of good conscience. The children of your ancestors oppressors to give you $1 million on every chip.
Because we care.
Because we care.
Yeah, because we care.
If you think about it, right? If Jay got $1 million, you think Jay gonna do $1 million?
But I wanted to have fun. So I went to the Oros and I gambled the rest.
The next thing you hear when I'm out, people can be outside and you bleed into the way you love them.
If they ever get reparation, just invest in a world's car dealership and brands and them things. Yeah. Them things not sell a lot. That's why they want.
And that's why it's pretty good. It's like, hey, but you reparation is so called reparation you're receiving. It's what I'm saying. It's so, and I think about revelation is, you understand how they even strive after the souls of men.
Yep.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 6. It says, Sin is a righteous thing with Yahweh to recompense tribulation unto them that trouble you. Yep, so this is the recompense that can receive. Then put it to us. Reward him double. Right? It says, and to you who are troubled, rest with us. When our Lord Yahweh shall reveal from heaven with his mighty angel. So the elect can rest in Yahweh Shai and wait for the day when Yahweh shall return with his angels so that they could get true reparation. So which is putting these other nations in subjection. Just like how Solomon kingdom was. Because when Solomon ruled for the 40 years, there was peace and these nations was under subjection.
And because due to his father David,
Yep.
David put the kingdom in peace. Solomon took over and he had another 40 years. Until after his death, according to the prophecy, the Most High would divide the kingdoms.
Yep. And the scripture said the Most High can rise up the tabernacle of David again. waiting and up, the same thing and up, deviation from subjection.
That's right. Eternity.
Correct mind. Someday a flag, the amount of blood. Now young David have just today. That's what me say. I get it right. You understand? But basically, you know, to the Lord said it unto my Lord.
That's right.
You know, put sit down at the right time.
Bring back 12 up.
Well, Jeremiah 50 and verse 12, it says, your mother shall be sore confounded.
And your body shall be so confounded with Great Britain. Because America is a little hand that comes from Great Britain.
That's right.
Is the mother, right? She controls the is set up in three systems. America, which is
Financial.
controlling the war sector. Britain controlling the financial sector, and Rome controlling the Vatican controlling what the religious beliefs, right? Go ahead. So our mother shall be so
She that bear you shall be ashamed.
shall be ashamed. Go ahead.
Says, behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
Desert, right? So there's where America can be after this destruction had come in.
Right.
Desert. Somebody could only I think it's Isaiah chapter 30. Isaiah chapter 30. Showing that America can become a desert.
And verse 1, like said something.
Like,
Isaiah 13 and verse 9. It says, behold, the day of Yahweh power cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger.
Raj and fierce anger. Why? Atrocities that happen to the children of Israel. Right? So
It says, to lay the land desolate,
in land desolate, America,
and ye shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
sinners thereof out of it. You know, all the sinners. The only body that make it out of America is the elect of the nation of Israel. Right? 12,000 from each tribe, and a large multitude. The only thing that make it out of America. Everybody else, you know, can there's where they can pay for the sins. Right? Also, well, we know that the elites, they're not gonna dare that they're gonna end up going called scattered across the world. We're gonna look for them after we see destruction. You know, Lord's will will be a part of the great number to see the destruction of the wicked. You know, live. But yeah, well,
Once again, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his went forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil and their wickedness, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease, and will lay low haughtiness of the terrible, because all the mouth and the black and the wisdom and everything that is saying, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is why we're gonna do this, and we're gonna fit this stuff, that's away. When Esau will be thrown down, I will throw down. You understand? And this is that they will run out to the wits, they will start evolving back into that caveman state. The same shit with the language, like it Book of Job said it was brain among the bush. Right. You understand? That was their language.
so it's from Canada.
English is a brain language. You check it out.
America win World War One. America win World War Two, World War Three. So, yeah, forget it. You know, Did them talking ghost.
Psalms chapter 10 and verse I think 6 or 5, 7.
Yep. He said,
I will purchase that by gold.
Jeremiah 50 verse 12 says, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bear you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hinderance cause of the nations shall be as a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues.
There's gonna be a speak about.
yep, Revelation 18.
1 hour.
1 hour. Somebody can bring it up. Also, yeah, skip version, watch it far out.
Yeah. Revelation 88 says, and prayed when they saw the smoke of our terrible sin, of our burning sin, what city is like unto this great city?
Yep.
America the Great.
America the Great, that's every other city look towards it. So when they see America destroyed in there, what if America could be destroyed? Anywhere else could be destroyed, you know?
Yeah. See, and they cast dust on their head and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein we're mad, wherein we're made rich, also all that had ship in the sea by reason of our costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate. We can't watch all the ship in the sea, right? When the base of America, you're supposed to return to our district. You left stranded.
Hey, come and make a point too, right?
All of America stranded because of where we can go, we can set sail to. Where we can go, and say land ahoy. Which land? Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm gonna make a point, there's the Most High putting the spirit upon these nations too. I tell you in Proverbs 21, what the Most High what put the spirit, put these angels to set them up to what to turn against what Babylon, America. All right, and this is the Most High avenging, making his name great again. Because why? Remember in Psalms 137, when Edom said, raise Jerusalem from off the earth. Yeah, the Most High avenging back. Yeah.
And that's the warships. But ships that they put in the dark. Whenever they're goods.
Yeah, that's right.
This how the nations get rich by selling the products to America. America is the biggest consumer. The only thing America they ship out is wickedness and death.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, precept.
Yeah,
yeah, this is Sirach 11 and 27. Says the affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. You know, so in the hour, hey, even the wealthiest, the elites, they're gonna be in the bunker. But remember, they riches is what? The fatness of the earth.
Yeah.
You understand? So in the 1 hour, hey, they're gonna forget the years and decades of pleasure that they had. You know? They're slack.
Yes, they got something that they normally use something called rice from the ashes, which GTNT spirit headed down here, there's the head spirit. So the elites them, they thinking that they gonna rise from the ashes and then come back and continue. Because scripture says the inward thoughts is that the houses shall continue forever. Yeah.
There it goes down to say, it says, judge none blessed before his death, for a man shall be known in his children. You know, and one of the things that Esau children gonna do, is what mourn because of the father.
That's right.
You know?
This is that.
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
What is the Revelation there?
Yes. And it's going to say here, right? Revelation 18 and verse 20. It says, yeah, from reading verse 19, the guy that keeps on it. It says, and they cast dust on their heads
Mhm.
and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the seas by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for Yahweh power hath avenged you on her.
That's right.
That's so people yeah, they're gonna rejoice over American destruction.
That's right.
Right? So I read 19 1 and 2. Revelation chapter 19, 1 and 2. That goes into rejoicing about the fall of America. Get it?
Yeah, this is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 2. And after these things, I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah.
Lord, why yeah?
Mhm.
Is rejoicing.
That's right.
You know? Right,
Salvation and glory and honor and power unto Yahweh, our power. Bashem Yahushua power.
Yeah.
Right?
For sign America.
Yeah. Verse 2. For truth and righteous are his judgments.
For righteous.
For he had judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and had avenged the blood of his saints at her hand.
At her hand. This ultimate revenge for everything that Mr. Edom
That's right.
did to the Israelites,
That's right.
right? Because he's the one that visits Jerusalem too, right? So it's only right that he says that he's dwelling, you know, but I'm just like them,
That's right.
you know.
Yeah. Hey, not to, just to touch on it too.
But
Even in the land of Israel, where Amalek is too, there's going to be born a fire. The Most High is going to cleanse that land. All right.
just get Isaiah 24 and the last end, or starts to full like a drunken man. Yep. Because this what the Messiah is gonna do. This all the whole Lord just come back together.
That's right.
As one. Right?
We're going to start from 17.
Yeah, Isaiah 24 into start to 17.
All right. It's Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 17. It says, fear and the pit and the snares are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth.
Yep.
All right. Verse 18. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit.
The beats of Satan. And these are the nations too. Because they can hide the serpent in from something. We're gonna look for them. Right? On the every hill, on every rock, going up.
Says, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare, for the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. Verse 19, the earth is utterly broken down, the earth clean dissolved, the earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
Yep. They're going back together, right?
Every Tuesday, the only memory is going to be seen, and it's not going to be a forever memory.
is the destruction of born in America. That's gonna be that. That's gonna be that monument, right? Nothing else that in this kingdom will be. Because you say gonna be like a tree, right? All this shit we're seeing here, traffic light, and these friggin' people that can and think all the element, everything gonna be born. You know, everything gonna be born. So, I mean, yeah, mainly in America, but these other players can get it too because well, the Muslim from the streets. When you check history itself, right? You got certain buildings, the 16th floor, like 5th floor, and so on. There's so much under the ground that actually new structures built. It's the same thing that happened when all the national rebels cover these spaces. All this stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think there too, the land of 25, they can be built up back. But America have to build up back. Right? America have the level, you know. The wild beasts, owls and lizards, you know. Desert nature.
Verse 20, verse 21 of Isaiah 24. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. And after that, many days shall they be visited. Yeah. Isaiah 24 and 23. It says, then the moon shall be confounded, and the sun ashamed, when Yahweh of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem, and before his ancient gloriously.
This was an after war destruction. The earth and put it in slavery. And how about Shag can rule his space? How Shag can rule his space?
And you start to be ashamed too. Like wisdom gonna be wisdom come from them.
Everything that you build will be showed down.
That's right.
Right? So hey, we look forward to the day when America be destroyed. Right? Well, anyway, with that, we just want to give our praise and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bakodash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, Faith and Stone. Peace and salutation to you brothers as spoken word in sincerity and in truth. You know, to GMS Guyana. Shalom. See you next time. Abad Babag.
Abad Babag.
Abad Babag.
Abad Babag.
Abad Babag.
Abad Babag.
Bom Yeshua.
Bom Yeshua.
Bom Yeshua.
Bom Yeshua.
Bom Yeshua.
Bom Yeshua.
Shalom.
Shalom.
See you next time. Shalom.
Hey, stop on this.